Welcome to Margin Business Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. In today's episode, we got Augustas Kligys, the founder of Orange Klik. Orange Klik is an information platform for Amazon private label sellers that facilitates virtual summits, webinars, and create demos of tools designed for Amazon sellers. Welcome, Augustas. Today we have our special guest, Augustas, and we will take a journey through his professional life and as well through his personal life. And I'm very excited to see what has been the life of Augustas before Orange Klik, because I personally think it's very, very interesting. And he will tell us in his words how this has been and what the journey was looking like up to today. So where are you located at the moment? And then we take it from there, how you feel best, how to, from childhood, where you went to school, where you from?
Hello, Omar. Nice to be here. So I'm originally from Lithuania. At the moment, I'm in south of Portugal.
Okay, beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but to be honest, I didn't really live much in my home country in the last 20 years, because already when I was a student 20 years ago, I got passion of traveling. So I traveled a lot in Europe, and then I studied in Denmark. And then since then I was just, borderless. It doesn't matter where I live. I mean, I can make my life feeling comfortable in any place. And it's even interesting to stay in one country, in another country. Of course, now we have a kid, so we are trying not to. It's more difficult to move, and we don't want to move. But sometimes the destiny tells us to move, and we move to another place. So in the last few years, we were like in Germany, in Spain, Portugal, Mexico.
Hi, sorry to interrupt your video. I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you watching this video right now. And I want to let you know what Margin Business can offer to Amazon sellers. We offer Amazon listing optimization and translation to Amazon sellers who want to sell more on the European marketplaces. Now, enjoy your video. Sorry, one more thing. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you. Okay, so your journey began in Denmark. Denmark was, before already. So Lithuania, the journey begins obviously in Lithuania. There you have been normal at the normal high school, and then finished, and then you just said, okay, that's it. I need to move on, right?
In Denmark, I was studying at the university, master degree. So Denmark was like maybe the first country where I lived for the first time abroad. I lived, didn't travel. I traveled before for quite a lot in Europe, but it was first time when I just was living. I lived in Denmark maybe 4 years. It's a nice country, very relaxing. It makes you, feel relaxed. People are not in hurry. It's 5 o'clock. Everybody closed the doors of the office. Nobody's in the office at 5 o'clock. It's very relaxed.
Oh, that's very strange, 5 o'clock and that's it. No more. I mean, the thing is, in winter, I know the sun goes down very quickly, so you don't have really time to see the sun or to see any daylight. In Aalborg, I believe it's about very near into the north coast, right?
I lived in the north, in Aalborg. It's a lot of rain, a lot of wind. You travel by bike every day. It's nice life by bike. It's really interesting. You get fit, and you feel like everything is accessible by bike. You don't need to think of transport. It's really nice. Yeah,
I remember Denmark, like the red block houses, because we used to do vacation there, and this is what I recall from that region. It's a very, very nice and smooth country. And from there, you just said, okay, I need to travel the world, or there was not yet the warm countries in your head, right?
No, I had a dream to to travel the world, kind of to see, to explore. So I finished computer science at university, and I didn't really want to be in that field. I just wanted to do something else. I wanted to be event organizer, but of course with IT background, nobody wanted to give me a job. And then after my studies, I went to China for 1 year. For 1 month to just to explore. It was like 2002 or something, 20 years ago. And I went to China. I loved it. I wanted to go and live there. So I came back at university. I got job as a research assistant with my professor. So I was working for maybe half a year or a little bit more and saving money. And my plan was I go to China and I save money for 3 months. And I find a job within this 3 months. If not, I come back after 3 months. So that was my plan. But in 2003, when I had to go, there was SARS, this virus.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, it was in the news. They said people do sneezing in the elevator, and then everybody kind of die. Those people who were in the elevator, like similar like now with this COVID, the same kind of stories. Just those stories finished after half a year.
Yeah,
and at that time I didn't go because there were a lot of reports that Chinese economy is collapsing. I don't think it was true. So it was after maybe 1 year I realized that nothing was collapsing. I could have gone and it would have been fine, but of course I didn't go. But that time when I canceled my trip to China, I went to Spain to travel, and there I met my wife, future wife, and she was from Germany, and since then we are kind of together. And her dream was also to travel the world, so we traveled the world together afterwards.
That's amazing. And in Spain, for example, 2004, 2005, when you came into Spain, where did you go? Into the south, or did you go for a job, or just like you wanted to see Spain?
Actually, yeah, it was 2003. We went with my friend to a work camp. There was some international work camps, 20 young people doing some job in the early morning until midday, until it gets hot. And then the rest of the day, relax. So it was cool. And then with my friend, we came by car from Lithuania. So after 1 month work camp, then we traveled 1 month in Spain around. And this is how I met at some point my future wife, and then
you traveled the world afterwards.
Maybe 2 years later, because my wife had to finish the studies, and I still wanted to. I needed maybe again money, so I went back to Denmark to work a little bit. And so it was already digital nomading, working in Denmark a few months, and then the rest of the year, maybe 9 months, like just enjoying life, like pensioner, let's say, exploring what I can do, doing something with websites. This is what I like to do, something to create websites, and for myself at the beginning and later for others. But this was my passion at the beginning.
So, I mean, you have a computer science background now. So you're like, I mean, how did you get there? How did you get this specifically there? Because that's a very important point for me to see afterwards where it would go, or what are your passions actually. Did you love to play with computers, or did you read hardware, software, or technical engineer? What was the...
When I finished the school, I was in one of the best schools in my country, and that school, all the pupils from that school get into universities like 99%, almost everybody. In other schools, there are much lower rates. So everybody is supposed to go, and it was like, kind of common understanding, you go to study at university. But the only thing I liked at school was mathematics, nothing else. And then I thought, okay, I'm not feeling like studying mathematics. But in the same faculty, there was another new emerging profession, computer science. It was 96 or something. So still there is no email, like...
Yes, it was very early, very early.
So something new. So I thought, okay, I will apply for computer science. So I went there, but it's just because everybody goes to the university. It's not that I knew what I want to do. And I ended up, but at the end, yeah, I finished all 6 years of computer science, but
Oh, that's a
just
lot
maybe,
already.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot. I mean, I remember Yahoo in '97 when I was going into internet shops and just surf around on Yahoo. It was very strange. I mean, um, at this point, to think that you actually can make a lot of money in the internet if you knew the right how you do it, and if it would be easier at that time. Myself, I was not yet ready, let's say it this way, in order to do something productive over the internet. But afterwards, when you were traveling the world, it's there where you're beginning to build websites, HTML, I guess. There was a book out, HTML4. Was it about that time? Yeah.
Well, I never read books, but of course, yeah, at the time I was learning like HTML and PHP.
Okay, yes.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did
Then it's about
from the
the
scratch some pages.
2003,
Yeah.
2002. Okay,
So
that's yeah.
it was not, I at that time I was not like entrepreneur. I still didn't understand this earning online. I was just enjoying creating websites, my own projects, like non-governmental, non-profit, like just maybe sharing some information about my travelings or something like that.
Well, that's early already.
Yeah. Some pages are still like online.
But yeah, you need to send them over.
I should like take them down because 20 years ago I traveled to Slovenia. Maybe I even took it down. Slovenia at that time was like my favorite country, so I made a page for Slovenia just because I love this country. And I was like into this kind of just trying to explore different ways to do websites. And at some point, it was like 2000, maybe 6 or 7. One of my friends whom I met, another Lithuanian guy whom I met in Denmark, he asked me, "Oh, can you help me to make a small page which takes information from the database and I display this information on the website?" It was information about credit cards. So he got an idea. He was more like seeing in the future that the possibility to create affiliate page about credit cards for American people. So we started.
That's very far.
Yeah, like 15 years ago. And then we were building this, and I ended up working with him like for 6 years and starting to get this passive income. And it was like, still I didn't understand what was happening. And at some point I was like really tired of this programming but I could really I could work like maybe literally one day a month. Sometimes when we traveled with my wife, I couldn't find time to work because when it doesn't exist, this work and travel, like this digital nomading, I don't know what exactly people mean by that, but it's impossible to travel and to work. So you either work or travel. So if you come to one place, you stay for 3 months, you will work and you will enjoy. It will be a regular job routine, just in another location. So you will work maybe 6 hours during the day and then go meet other entrepreneurs in the evening. But it's not that you can explore every day and disconnect from the work. It's really difficult to get focus back. So when we were traveling, we were traveling by hitchhiking and with a tent. So it was very stressful traveling and like to think of work. And at that time, of course, I didn't have a computer the first years when we traveled. So I had everything on a USB stick, 4 gigabyte USB stick, all my website files. And I go to the internet cafe and sit down for like 4 or 5 hours, put my USB stick, and hopefully it is allowed because there's some internet cafes had restrictions, you cannot install your software or so I was like hacking, like the system, how I could work so that I have everything kind of portable on the USB stick. I just plug and I launch what I need, I launch and I work. And then I upload files. So it was difficult, yeah. Sometimes maybe I was getting computer at somebody's place, so I was also working, but it was very challenging. So I literally couldn't work much. So it was a lot of, my friend was sending ideas, to-do list, what needs to be done on these websites about credit cards. And I was overwhelmed. And at some point I just, after a few years, I said, no, it's enough. And maybe it was stupid, but I said, like, I step out from this. And of course I kind of said, I don't need this passive income. Well, I didn't understand this passive income. I just like maybe took it for granted. Oh, okay, it's there.
Sure.
But later I didn't realize like I could have maybe, think of different strategy how to keep this passive income.
Yeah, it's okay. Everyone makes these strategic mistakes at some point. It's what most of the people need to understand who are watching this as well. The younger generation, I want to say, is that before there was no cell phones. I mean, we didn't literally have the internet on the cell phone where we can look every 5 minutes and check what emails coming in, or maybe have a Zoom call or anything of that kind. It was just not possible. Anyway, website is still not possible to do it on the cell phone. But still, you have a possibility to communicate better nowadays than 15 years ago. So I think it's very challenging what you did, and I can understand that you didn't want it to continue because it was not yet at that level that you had a computer, that you sit down at a cafe and that you work for 4 or 5 hours, then you go to the hotel, and that there is a real routine and real a cash flow coming in, because this time frame, I guess, it was too short to see it that the money is coming in after a short time frame. That's what I mean.
At some point, we were traveling and really our cost was very, very low, and I was getting maybe like $500-600 a month from that project, and it was like keeping us very well. When we were, for example, in India, you rent a house for 100 euros or dollars.
Wow,
a huge house with internet. And then food is cheap, so it's more than enough. This $500 for 2 people. But it was very overwhelming because my passion was more to explore and see new countries and new places, and to kind of enjoy this exploration. But to sit down and be responsible for some project and to have this pressure. It's like, when you're at university, write a diploma and you are responsible in front of someone to finish by the deadline. So I had this feeling all the time. So so it was the kind of the beginning of my digital nomadism when nobody had this name yet.
Okay. And when you did India, you did, I guess, Thailand, Southeast Asia, Bali.
Actually, we started our trip from Latin America. We were 3 years there.
Okay.
In 2006. We were in Central and South America for 3 years. This is where I learned Spanish as well. Just I didn't learn in the schools from the teachers, but just on the street, by talking to people. And we spent there, and not always we were on the move. Sometimes we would also rent apartment in Ecuador and live there for half a year. Or live in Argentina for 2 months in one place. So we were always like stopping, because with the time you get tired. Like the first 3-4 weeks, it's exciting when you're moving, but later you realize, we lived like in Belize half a year and in Mexico half a year. It's like, so it was just interesting to be part of the local life and, get to know local markets, local sellers, and make friends. And of course, it's always was sad when you leave. Maybe it's more sad for those people who stay in that same place and we leave. For us, it's like something new next day. But for the people with whom we make friends, it's difficult when we leave, of course.
Yeah. So
and then afterwards,
we
were in Europe afterwards, and then we went towards Asia. But in Asia, we were just in India, Thailand, and Malaysia, and Australia. We didn't go to other countries.
Where you been in Malaysia? Only Kuala Lumpur, or?
No, actually, Ipoh. It was this other city in the north. So we lived there like Ipoh. 3 months.
Okay, it's a nice city as well. Then you went as well to Langkawi, I guess, right?
It's an island, right? Langkawi.
It's the island, in the north of Penang.
I think I don't remember. It was maybe almost 10 years ago. But we also there just rented in some neighborhood, rented a house, huge house, 2 floors for 100 euros. It was amazing. It's like, but we didn't have internet, of course. So we had the internet cafe in 2 kilometers away. So it was
always walk over.
Interesting. At that time, we already had 1 or 2 small computers. These Asus E or something, triple E or
Yes, if
It was
if you
4
talk about
gigabyte or something.
2007, something like that, yeah. You
Yeah.
had the big Asus. They were quite good, actually. I think they were good,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they always crashed. That was one of their problems. These laptops, but they were quite powerful, I think. And they were enough to be connected and have good internet.
Actually, when we started to travel in Latin America, we also had a small. It's like a device. It's called Psion. It's maybe like the size of big iPhone, and you open it up. There is keyboard and the screen.
Yes, I
like,
remember that one. Yes.
So and you put like as not mini SD but SD card, like 5 centimeter,
big ones,
centimeter square,
yeah.
Which you put in the cameras at that time. Also, you put in that, and we actually every evening we were writing stories, like, or sometimes we were basically, you go to the internet cafe, you save in a text file all the emails if somebody write, and then on that small device at home you sit and answer all the emails, and then you go back to internet cafe and copy your answers. This is how we're doing, or writing stories from our trip. But programming, of course, it was impossible on that small device. But we had this device. It was like really amazing.
You still got it, I guess, yeah.
Oh no, we
okay, that would be great right now,
I think I saw maybe a year ago, I looked just for fun, and I think I saw on eBay maybe it's possible to buy for 30 euros or something. But
okay, interesting. Okay, you need to get hold of one, and in 30, 40 years, this is definitely something like the first cell phones, I mean, it's very interesting, because you mentioned as well that you need to stay at least 3 months in the country, and I completely agree with that. I cannot do less than 3 months would completely disturb me. Like you said, I did it as well, but it's not healthy and not productive. 100%, no focus, no nothing. So 3 months, I think, is a good time. And still, now I'm even saying 6 months. That would be the best. So after traveling the world, how did you get back to Spain, for example? You said, Spain, I like Spain the most, or how did that happen?
Oh, actually, we got back to Germany because we didn't have any money anymore after staying in Australia, which was much 2010? More expensive. Yeah, 11 maybe, something like that.
And then, Australia is another level. Yes.
yeah, it's like, after Malaysia and Thailand, where like fruits and everything is cheap, it was shock a little bit to see how expensive and how plastic are the fruits comparing to
100%.
And we came to Western Australia, which is built on a desert, so everything is like imported from other parts of Australia.
Okay.
And we kind of didn't have money anymore, so we had to come back and to start from zero, basically. And this is when I in Germany I started to focus very strongly on freelance web programming. So that time it's like, okay, now I have to support ourselves and then family soon. And then I decided to go all in as a web programmer. I was not enjoying at all, but this is the only thing I thought I can do. And so for the next maybe 4 or 5 years, I was just programming. And then at some point, somebody told me 6 years ago, told me about FBA, Amazon FBA.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And I was like really into that. I, of course, downloaded some courses from different sources to listen about it. I think everybody starts like this when you want to learn and you don't have money.
Yes.
And I didn't have money to start this business. I could invest like literally just maximum 500 euros. We were living, from penny to penny. And I couldn't find any product to invest into and to start a big business. So I ended up anyway watching Facebook groups, doing my programming, and at the same time, like just scanning Facebook groups, what Amazon sellers are talking. And I saw that people that don't have much information about Amazon Europe. And I saw this problem. And then somehow at that time, when I was like maybe half a year into this FBA business model, I got to know about another business model, which is Virtual Summit. And this is what I decided to connect. I got into some course of the virtual summits, and I connected virtual summit for Amazon sellers. So 5 years ago, 2016, in September, I launched my first virtual summit for this industry. And this is how I started kind of my career here and being known and connecting with, experts in the industry. And since then, I was producing more summits. I was the first, building email lists and starting to make money, and of course, better money and like easier. How to say? Not easy. I still work a lot, but
sure,
like it's not paid per hour. It's like
yes,
if
exactly.
you put effort.
Yes.
If it's a virtual summit, you get some amount of money, and then you can use it for a few months to work on other projects and so on. So it was very interesting for me. And after maybe 2.5 years of virtual summits, I decided to do a live conference, in-person conference. This is what was the first event, European Seller Conference in 2019, March. And I was so excited. I was so passionate about events, live events. And for the next year or so, I did 5 events, and then I had to stop due to like all the COVID regulations.
The first one was in Amsterdam, correct?
No, Amsterdam was already third. First was in Prague, European Seller Conference. Then we did in Seller Fest Israel in Israel, then Amsterdam for advertising specialists. It was called PPC Congress. Then actually before Amsterdam, we did all Seller Fest in Lithuania, also in my home country. And then we did the 5th event in Prague again, European Seller Conference, and then we had to finish. So it was end of my passion story. So I had to. So since then we are focusing a lot on YouTube channel of Orange Klik, where we do basically the same like with virtual summits. We interview experts and share the knowledge of them to Amazon seller audience,
which is as well very, very informative and very useful. Lots of advices, lots of value, lots of good people on there. Orange Klik. It's been a while I've seen it. That's why I mentioned Amsterdam, because I don't know why, but they had just like a screenshot in my head that at some point I've seen Amsterdam Summit 2019, and I realized that it's already more than 2 years now. Time is flying. What's the plan for Orange Klik at the moment? Do you? I mean, now how it looks, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Spain still looks pretty good. I don't know what about Portugal. Here, if you go out, it's like nothing happening. It's other countries already turning around a bit. So meetups in Spain is not a problem. But I think bigger gatherings is a problem. How does it look in Portugal?
Anything locally to organize, it's kind of easy, I think, and possible. I myself organize here where I live entrepreneurs meetups. They are small, like 10 people, but it's just to meet other like-minded. But for the big event, I'm sure 100% it would be possible to do. The problem here in Portugal, there are no Amazon people. Really. In Spain, there are, but when you have to cross the borders, like it starts all the complications. But our events were international, and it would be really impossible now to attract people. First, to attract to buy tickets, because we need funds to pay for the rent in advance, for the venue. And then there would be probably need to have a flexible refund condition so that
it's risky,
can refund. And then if Germany says no, you cannot travel to Spain for the conference. I mean, you can, but if you come back, you will have to do a quarantine days. So everybody will refund, or they will not travel. This is the biggest problem. So we are not risking on this at the moment, and it's just a headache. And if in-person event would be possible to organize in 3 weeks, we could try to squeeze into some period of time which is more safe. But for the live event, you need like 2-3 months. 3 months the best, 2 months is possible, but 2 months now it's so many changes can be, and it's impossible to risk. So now we are focusing on a YouTube channel mainly,
which is pretty good already. Very good.
Yeah, we are planning some online event, a little bit different from what we did in the past and what others are doing. So we will be launching this hopefully in like maybe in autumn. So yeah, we have some idea. We'll see.
I think there's really good ideas as well on your website. There's really good things going on. Orange Klik, it's orangeklik.com, correct?
Yeah, it's correct. So there we present all our events, which we did in the past. Of course, that page is not that useful at the moment. Then we also have, we call it Slack Club, the club where the community where people who like to use Slack or want to use Slack as an alternative to Facebook, they could join our community. At the moment, we have already 500 people there, I think. So it's Amazon sellers. Of course, there are service providers there. So it's not like there are, it's more organized than in Facebook groups. There are these so-called Slack channels, so maybe 20 different topics, logistics, international things, legal, and sourcing products, so people can discuss in different channels. And this is what we promote already for more than 1 year. What else we do? Actually, there is another website which we run. It's amzsummits.com, where we try to collect all the most how to say. It's a database of events for Amazon sellers, online and in-person events.
AMZ Summits.
AMZ Summits, yeah. And this is also, I started 4 years ago. It's all done manually, and whenever we see an event, we add it manually. It's just because 4 years ago, I was thinking, oh, I so much would like to go to some real event for Amazon sellers, but I couldn't understand, couldn't see the resource where I could see all the events happening in Europe or something.
It's true.
So this is how I came up with this idea to create this website. And lucky, like US people are lucky, they are getting already in-person events, they're happening. And just today I got an email that there will be some event in Florida in November, so it's really nice. But in Europe it's a little bit more difficult, but there are happening events for local communities. I know that, I think in Ukraine they will have an event in autumn, and probably in Germany there are some events happening. So yeah, so if people want to find events around the world, they can visit AMZ Summits. And also there in AMZ Summits, there is a menu item called local meetups. We have a list maybe of 200 local meetups around the world. This information is taken from meetup.com website. And these are also, you can, search, maybe there are meetups in Spain happening of Amazon sellers, or in Germany, or in US, different states. So on our page, you can also find this information.
Yeah, I think it's this is pretty good, because Orange Klik, AMZ Summit. I didn't know about the AMZ Summit, but I think it's really good, because I was searching myself at some point, where can I go, where can I fly, and then you don't see, and this is, oh no, it's already gone. Oh no, now, and then, oh, this flight is too expensive. What can I do now? So I think it's really good. As well, that you keep updating it, and that you provide this value for Amazon sellers. Just have two more questions for you. For example, in general, what does motivate you when you get up in the morning? I know you're passionate for events, but in general, what is your motivation in life?
Basically, whenever I do, especially in business, like decisions, I think if it helps, I want to help as many people as possible. So I try to take a decision which reaches as much people as possible. So this is what motivates, like, to create value for the people somehow. And I think whatever I do is like to make people happy, to see them. So let's say I do entrepreneurs meetup here where I live. So it's nice when people can connect and make friends. For Amazon sellers, we do these videos on YouTube, but this is like one-way communication. We don't get much feedback, but whenever we will create some virtual summit, it's interesting and nice for the speakers and for the watchers, for the viewers. So yeah, this is what motivates me, like to see people happy and feel that they got something, like got some value from what we do. So.
I mean, you give really a lot of value with Orange Klik, with the videos. When you speak, you have positivity coming. People who are on, like to speak on your podcast as well. And really, I'm the only thing. What would you send out to the world, a message, a part of, I know already you're very positive, like I said in the podcast. But if you have now the opportunity, what would you a hope message or a message to all entrepreneurs around the world, or Amazon sellers in general?
Maybe I will not sound original, but I like this, take action phrase. I noticed that very little people take action. A lot of people maybe don't do anything and they don't talk. Then some people are talking a lot, but they don't really do. Yes. But very little people are doing, like, you are doing, like, I would say like maybe 1 or 3% of people are taking action and doing. And what I noticed myself before, when I was, let's say, a digital nomad and I was just programming, I don't feel like I was contributing much. That's why I was like down and I was not happy. And then when I realized, okay, I have to go out of my comfort zone and make these virtual summits and talk to people I never talked to about a topic I have no idea much. And I was so nervous when I was recording the first interviews. Now I recorded over 500 probably different interviews about Amazon. But the first few interviews, I was like telling to my wife and my kid, go away out of the apartment. Half an hour before, I was like dressed in short and like sweating and rehearsing the questions before I joined the call. I was so nervous and so slow. And like, not that I forget, I have to listen to a person what they are talking and connect the next question to what they talk, but at the same time I don't want to forget what I wanted to ask, so I was so nervous. But I took action, and this is where I am now. Of course, with what I didn't start selling on Amazon. I tried, but I realized it's not for me. I just enjoy bringing value to the people in different way, and with this I did improve my family's life, like financially also, and more free, and kind of became my own boss. If I feel like not working for 2 weeks, I can do it.
Sure.
So, and it happened just because I took action. It was very scary, and I'm still will be sometimes taking other actions which are scary, but
it's always scary. Entrepreneurship is scary. Yes.
So,
great. Thank you so much. It's I can to wrap this up. In general, it's scary, and entrepreneurship, and it's not like like they show all the time, the cars and sitting at the pool. Okay, it's no problem. You as well, we can make some photos at the pool, no problem, but it's not giving value to the people, So to wrap this up, let's give more value to everyone out there. Any questions? Orange Klik is there. Margin Business is there. Just get to us. It's just questions. Everything good. We're here to help. And that was great talking to you today, Augustas. It was a pleasure having you, and hope we see each other in person soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you very much, Omar, and good
Thank you.
Bye.
Speak later.